I'm Carly Steele here at South by Southwest in partnership with Kinolime, talking to some of the festival's top storytellers all about their filmmaking process and how they broke into the industry. Let's make movies together. Okay, so we're here with Phillip Guzman.
Hi.
Do you like Guzman or
I go by Guzman. I try to sound more, I don't know, culturally interesting.
It's always good to sound more culturally interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here at South by Southwest. We're talking screenwriting. This is the hot topic du jour. Tell us a little bit about your experiences as a screenwriter and director getting things made. How difficult is it to get your scripts made?
Okay, so, man, I first started writing screenplays when I was in college.
Yeah.
I've written probably 40-something of them. The first 5 no one will ever read. But yeah, writing is one of those things that it almost came out of necessity because I was, a poor college kid. I wanted to make movies. I can't afford just to option materials.
Yeah.
There was a really great writer in the small town I went to college in called Joe Lansdale. And Joe's won like Bram Stoker's and Edgar's. And I would see him in coffee shops and just pick his brain every day. Like, hey, what about this? And he would read my scripts and give me notes. And so it was cool to have like a mentor like that to kind of, I guess, guide me in a way. So I just started writing out of necessity. I couldn't afford to buy stories I wanted. And, man, I guess writing, it gets easier the more you do it, like anything else. And I think I've optioned probably 13 properties, and I've made 8 of the scripts. So yeah, it's been I don't know.
Have you ever adapted an IP, or have all your scripts been original?
I have.
Phillip Guzman ideas.
Actually, I have a Western right now that is based on a novel that I was hired to write. So
I love Westerns.
yeah, it's a cool one. So that one we're looking to shoot hopefully the end of this year in Mexico and in Texas, and it's a different take on the Western where the hero is a Tejano, a Mexican person caught on the other side of the river. It was almost like Berlin Wall-ish when that happened, where you were pretty much caught on the other side, and it's a very fun Western where the Rangers are actually the bad guys. So that'll be a good take.
I like you're flipping it. You're
Yeah.
flipping
Well,
it.
it's also true.
Yeah.
Really interesting stuff, and it's a historical book, and so yeah, it's fun.
How hard do you find is it though to get your projects made? Like, the process is not terribly transparent.
It honestly comes down to how much money you need to make your project, and your intentions behind the project, really. And so, like, I can also shoot and direct, and so I own a lot of equipment, and so if I just want to do something on the cheap, I can go do something on the cheap. Or if I want to write with, like, Sky's the Limit, I can try that out, and maybe it'll get optioned, maybe not. And so it always comes down to, like, how high you're shooting, really, because I think anybody can make anything anytime they want. Technology has really come to a level that anybody can afford. Anybody can write, first off. All you need is a piece of paper and a pencil. And if you have a cell phone, you can shoot. If you have a cheap DSLR, you can shoot. Anybody can do it, I feel like. So there really aren't too many excuses. And man, I remember there was a quote somewhere, and it has to do with the paper and pencil, that art will never be art until it is as cheap as a pencil and a piece of paper, because it has to be open to everybody to be able to do it, not just the wealthy. And that's always been the crux of film, that only people with huge budgets can afford these huge crews. But man, technology is really, even like cameras with autofocus, like that's a huge thing. Ooh, somebody behind us just, are you okay? Okay.
It didn't sound good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're okay. So yeah, that was my take on that.
Okay, so what do you think about what Kinolime is doing in terms of democratizing the screenwriting process to get something actually made for people who maybe don't have the contacts or built up a community like you have?
No, I love it. I think what they're doing is they're allowing everyone to have a voice, and they're allowing it's almost like a gated and guarded community. They're allowing access to this guarded community that you really have to oh, how do you get an agent? Well, you have to make something. Well, how do you make something? Well, you have to have an agent. It's like this double-edged sword that's always protected Hollywood from ever letting other people play in it.
Yeah.
And by, things like Kinolime, you're allowing people to, that are part of our community, people that watch this content, to have a voice and have an opinion. And so many people want to write screenplays, but they have no idea of how to get it out there. This is a great way. In fact, I have sent in several scripts to Kinolime.
Have you?
So,
awesome. I'm gonna do that too.
And I've gotten some good feedback.
We'll compete against each other.
I'll beat you to the top.
Handbags at dawn.
But yeah, it's great. I've gotten good feedback. I've gotten mixed feedback, but it's feedback.
Yeah.
And and that's important because I think in any business endeavor, any art endeavor, you have to have measurable things. And how do you you have to have people read your stuff. You have to know what stories you're telling, what's working, what's not. And just having grandma read it, maybe she doesn't know what to look for, but Kinolime
Don't underestimate grandma.
Yeah, Granny may actually have some good nuggets, but it actually, I don't know, it gives you good feedback from fans and from fellow filmmakers and enthusiasts, and I think it's really cool.
What do you think about ChatGPT?
I actually enjoy the idea of technology growing and embracing it. It is scary, but I like the idea that I don't know, okay, cool, you're gonna have a bot, AI, create a story based off of prompts. That's interesting because I feel like that's what a lot of big budget movies are already, are some bots that are using, it's literally oh, what was hot this year?
Yeah.
What story structure? Oh, 3 act. It's literally already like that, and so many of these big movies are already algorithms. Yeah. So it's gonna kind of, I think, shake up the industry a little bit when they realize there's not a lot of art in that, but then it's going to bring back the question of what is art, and then it gets way complicated. So I enjoy it. I think it's going to shake the trees a little bit, and we'll see what falls. Yeah.
Interesting times for screenwriters, for sure.
Interesting times,
and
but fun.
filmmakers, too.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it's cool. So Kinolime as well, if your script is upvoted enough, your script could be made. It's got a production arm, too.
That's what I've heard.
Financing. How exciting is that?
I think that was the main thing that I wanted to send my material in for, is because financing is always, I've been doing this for 18 years now, 16, I don't know, a long time.
Yeah.
Financing has always been the hard part. It's how do you let somebody go hey, give me millions to make this idea of mine, please, and I promise you'll make it. It's always the hardest part. So finding a company that's willing to actually put money towards a project that the people want to see made, that's huge. And that's why I sent my material in. I have plenty of friends in the industry that I can send my material to read. Not everyone has that, but it's the idea that maybe we can make one of these.
Yeah.
That's the thing that really gets me going and excited about Kinolime.
Yeah, it's crowdsourcing. Someone said earlier it's crowdsourcing.
The industry.
Yeah, which is sick.
Yeah.
I love it. Is there anything else you would like to add about Kinolime?
Man, so coming here at South by, I got to meet all of the Kinolime people, and you can see the passion they have for making movies. And I got to chat with Oleg, the founder, and just the guy just loves movie making, and I can see his passion. And to me, it almost, I guess, more solidified my belief in what Kinolime's doing and how we can possibly, I hope I get to make one of my movies through it,
That would be so sick.
So it's definitely, I'm excited about it.
That'd be awesome. Oh my God. Brand spokesperson right here, Phillip Guzman, everyone.
Guzman.
Guzman.
Si.